Project Bronze Forever is dying. The players are suffering. The content creators are suffering. And it's because of a long history of events up until now. I theorized PBF's downfall back in July, but little did I know that things would get worse just a few months later. Hey guys, Infrared here, and I'm back with another Pokemon Brick Bronze video. This is basically going to be a documentary of Project Bronze Forever's downfall and everything that led up to it starting from July. I'll also be providing dates for my screenshots, but they'll show the dates that the messages were sent, not the dates that the screenshots were taken on. There will be a lot to cover, so I'll be sure to put timestamps and be as clear as possible. Now, without further ado, let's start with when it all began. Rollback July. The day was July 16th, and the game was brought back up right after another regular takedown. Nothing out of the ordinary. That is, until Tano says that the Firebase is experiencing data corruption when people save, and they have to take the game down for maintenance. Data corruption? That's new. Nobody even knew that the Firebase could glitch like this. The longest the game had been down before this was an entire week, and we suspect that it would take that long for the game to be back up. On July 18th, Vetgineer publicized the Crossroads Instaban hack going around, seemingly introducing another problem for the devs. I wish I could say this next part is funny, but it's really stupid. Like, real stupid. On the 19th, Toasty asked the players to send him feet pics for Nitro. This ends with him abandoning his Discord account and switching to his ult, wasting a day he could have used working on the game. God damn it, Toasty. Bobby does reassure us that the game will be back soon on the 22nd. Alright, I'll cut this next part short. On the 29th, Toasty tells us he has a full-time job outside of PBF, and Tano posts a picture making the situation look pretty grim. Thankfully, Toasty says that he fixed the game that next day, and he re-uploads it. Of course, there were dev tests and such, but our data was rolled back to the 15th anyway, so there was a code released as compensation. It was literally just a hidden ability pseudo-legendary. So, July 16th to July 30th makes 2 weeks. The player count was stuck at 160k at the time, and some people were dropping the game thinking that it would never come back. The compensation was also really so some people were on the edge about PBF and started losing faith in the devs. Now, on to August Rollback 2022. Yes, I'm using the code names for the video chapters. Alright, so the game was doing well for the most part, until August 7th. Apparently, some people started exploiting the arcade, shiny stars, and used GUIs. This forced Toasty to shut down the game yet again. We were left in the dust for another 13 days being told the rollback date would be something like August 2nd, but on the 20th, Toasty announces the rollback date being July 15th. He put us back to square one. July 16th was when this all began. Toasty mentioned how the game was exploit free then, but rollbacking an entire month of data is just bizarre. There were a lot of valuable things people lost during that time, and they were all being erased. So, how does Toasty compensate for this catastrophe? With yet another code. When will Toasty learn that codes suck and just lower the values of certain Pokemon? Now, Toasty introduced trade locks so that we couldn't break the trade economy with our Pokemon. However, when he released the August code, he gave everyone a Freezerood that wasn't code locked. Are you joking? So yeah, the rarest mythical of Gen 8 was now worth less than a Ditto. Cause that makes complete sense. Fortunately, Toasty also fixed a bunch of glitches when he brought the game up, and through the 25th to the 27th, he introduced more Gen 8 mods to the game. I even labeled this as the best PBF update ever since the whole rollbacking mess. It seemed like PBF's future was bright, until September rolled around. September was a terrible month for PBF, and unlike the other two, there was no compensation. It started on September 6th, when people were having their saves wiped for no reason. They managed to bring the game up immediately after fixing it, but the game had to shut down since it was randomly kicking people whenever they joined the game. It was then revealed on September 8th by Bobby that someone had managed to exploit the Firebase. Oh no, that's bad. If the firebase is prone to exploits, it could mean real trouble, like full wipe trouble. The game went down until September 18th, so it seemed like things would be alright and we wouldn't have a huge rollback again. We also hit 200k members on the 10th, and remember that date because it'll be important later. Toasty then asked us for our forgiveness and patience, and I don't mean to take the seriousness out of the video, but it's kinda hard to be patient when you had to abandon your account because you were being spammed with feet pics. Don't forget that you basically didn't compensate for July at all and rollbacked our data in August by an entire month. I know the devs work really hard on this game, but it seems like they didn't even think of the possibility that people would exploit it. It makes them look irresponsible and unprepared. Anyways, the game was taken down on the 19th, and the group Raid Shadow Legends Real that the devs were using was deleted on the 21st. Makes sense since it was being used since May, but it boggles my mind that they didn't even think of creating another group in advance. Like, why? This group was in use for 4 months, and they didn't create a backup. Ever. I can confirm this because the game was down until October 6th. That breaks the record for the longest amount of time PBF has been down. And if you don't count September 18th, since it got taken down immediately, that makes 4 weeks of no PBF. 4 weeks. Since the game was never back up in September, it's time I moved to October. On October 3rd, Tano revealed that she was on vacation. What the f***, Tano? The game has been down for over 3 weeks! However, the game did manage to come back up on the 6th, for less than an hour. We were also given a code that allowed us to get a Zekrom with a 1 out of 1,000 chance for an hour. This code didn't have a gym requirement, so you could totally find it on Route 1. Toasty, are you f***ing high? The game was then brought back up at 8 AM the same day, for even less time. Honestly, I think it was like 20 minutes because the game was back up like 8:02, and then I got a message saying that it was down again at 8:30. That brings us to today. Remember how I said that September 10th was when we hit 200k members? We were at 204,888 on the 6th, and we dropped to 204,324 today. Wow, the game is dead. With that said, you have reached the end of the video, and if you watched this long, you now have a 100 in AP Brick Bronze history. Thanks for watching. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.